Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome. Before you see the setup for the next scene. When we left it, our intrepid heroes were leaving the Shire under cover of darkness. They just left the inn at Hobbiton, and their mission was to head towards Bree without being spotted. They managed successfully to leave the main outskirts of like Bungo's initial where he lived and the inn and all that. And they've been travelling through. Now I've been checking through my rule book here on the travel. Let me just see, where is it? 252, I think. And the weather, as I stated in the last episode, was fine. So that means they travel at like easy ground, which it is. It's easy ground, so 2.5 miles per hour. They've been travelling all night, right throughout the night, and they've been talking and discussing things, which I'll get into momentarily. Overnight, we'll say when dawn's approaching, they're still on the very outskirts of Hobbiton, the very outskirts. Now they've passed the last remnants of residency, and they are making their way towards an abandoned old dilapidated mill, which is represented by that building there, and it's part of water here. Where a river from the Brandywine once flowed past through, they've channeled kind of a stream into the opposite side of it now. There's something to do with the way the water flowed. Anyway, they needed the water to go through and a ways to their new mill, which they did. This was back in their past. So anyway, but they're walking along. It's the birds are singing, and they're just starting to chirp, and you know the light is coming up over the hills, shining through the trees, and so they've been talking and conversing all night. And also the weather is fine. The travel is easy. They're making their way through here. They've been talking, and obviously Bungo is leading them at this stage because he's still within the Shire. Well, in Hobbiton, he feels comfortable with the lands. He's close to getting to the point where Sam said, if I take one step further, this is the furthest from home I've ever been. When he gets past this rock, that will be you see the rock there, yeah, that will be the furthest he's ever been from his home. So I've just got some dice here, and so Bungo's in the company of these 3 dwarven rangers, and he's been talking to them. He's been asking them about the other rangers, what their purpose was. So, and the information he's kind of got back was that they were sent by Thrain and Elrond to watch the borders of Fangorn, but literally they've disappeared, whether one by one or through nefarious means. That is unknown at this stage. And before we continue, I'll let you know I've decided to go with I started off using the conventional Mythic Game Master emulator, and I'll be still using the Fate chart, of course, from that. But I'm moving on now because the Chaos Factor is starting the scene at 4, but we're moving on to, and I'm going to use the Mystery Focus table. I'm going to use the Mystery Focus table, so when I make rolls, and I'm going to be doing that in this. Now, it basically means that if I roll equivalent or lower than my current chaos rank, something random happens. So as they're walking, I'm just going to make a roll here. It's a 0. Yes, something random happens. Now, here we go. So I'm going to consult my mystery focus table. So I've got a 75 PC positive. Alright, so PC positive, so that's good. But what do we mean? So we've got one PC. So our event, 22, befriend, and the subject, 17, the spiritual. Befriend the spiritual. Right, so what could this mean? Now I don't know an awful lot about the spiritual ways of Middle-earth, but hobbits. So what this means to me is that as he's been travelling, as he's been talking to the dwarves, they've been telling him about the elves as well, because obviously they would have been in contact with elves and close proximity to them, you know, as they were being kind of almost commissioned for this job of protecting or scouting the borders of Fangorn. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. Yes, so he's as they've been talking, Bungo is very much infused by all the talk of the elves, and so he's saying, this sounds great. I really want to meet the elves. Can we meet the elves? And Balvor says, well, lad, we probably will meet the elves. And the others are like, yeah, we'll meet them for sure. Even Grongor, so he just nods in agreement, and grunts. Bill the pony just snods. It's not the original Bill, of course. But anyway, so talk turns to, what's that old building there? Oh, that's just the old mill. Do you think it might be a good place to stop just to have a breather? I think this could be good. Bungo himself, they've been walking all night, and the pony looks like he just wants to stop and eat some grass, perhaps. So they agree. All right, we'll do that. So they make their way around, start tying Bill down. What they use, they get like a big rock, and they just tie the rope that's around his neck, and just leave it on the floor. That tells Bill that they don't want him to go off, and he's well trained enough. Oops, excuse me, to do that. Sorry, knocking the camera. Very unprofessional. Anyway, now this point, I've had to do a little bit of. I told you in the last episode. Yes, things are going on in the background, and I think this is a point where I'm going to consult the. I'm not going to tell you what I'm rolling for here, but I am going to roll because. I'm not sure if this is going to happen here or no, but I think chaos factor is 43. Right, okay. They hear a rustling in the trees as Tony goes, shh! You hear that? Did you hear that sound? Bungo was like, well, there's lots of wildlife around here. There's birds, squirrels, badgers, all sorts of things, you know. No, this doesn't fit. And they see a flock of birds go flying out of the tree next to this rock here. They hear a skittering sound. What is that? And so what they do is they prepare themselves. They steel themselves for a combat, possible combat. Bungo's like, I don't know about fighting. You look after the pony, lad. So Bungo goes over there. 3 doors back off. He said, pull him back a bit. So he does that. And what they see, kind of, oh no, spider. Bungo's like, I've never seen one this close to Hobbiton before, or even rather in Hobbiton before. We don't get spiders like that over here. Do you think it was tracking us? Yeah. You mean you were followed? Didn't tell you that part. We felt we were being followed. Oh, great. Anyway, so this spider makes its way over. As he's making his way over, I think this is a good point to do initiative. Now, how initiative works in Lord of the Rings, it's basically you roll initiative and you add your swiftness bonus or whatever, what have you, to it. So it's 2 dice. So I'll roll for Bungo first. So 9, 10, 11. So he gets 11. Balvor What does Balvor get? 7, 8. Balvor gets 8. Next is Chetwin. He rolls 8, 9, 10, 11. He gets 11 as well. Grungor. 9, 10, 11, 12. This is good news. The spider does a swiftness of 0, so he doesn't get any bonuses. So he's only on 7. So the spider is kind of last here. He's only got 2 wounds. Small spider. But anyway, right. So Grungor goes first. And now he's the one with the longbow. So he's got plenty of time there. We're going into combat now. So it's rounds now. So like, right, shoot it. So he's able to steady himself. So an aim action gives the attacker a +1 bonus. I thought it would. Right, so he's aiming at the spider with his longbow. So he's going to take a shot at it. The spider will try to dodge. Can't do much else, really. So he takes a shot at it. 4, 5, 6, 7. Right, so he gets 7. So he rolls a 7. Right, now that means the spider needs 7 plus his aim 8. So I'll just make a note of that, 8. Right, so in order to do that, to dodge that attack, the spider needs to roll 8, being the target number now, because he's rolled that, to dodge it. Does he? No! The spider goes, you know, it does all that, like, reaving around. Now, does that kill him? Like, his arrows do 2d6 plus 3. 2d6 plus 3. He's only got 2 wounds, this spider. Oh, yeah. 2 wounds. So the spider's like, ah, good shot. Good shot, Grungor. I'm gonna retrieve my arrow. So after much time later, considerable amount of time, well, not that long, but enough so that the party doesn't really have the time. They passed the main rock. This is a different one here that you see. Okay, and they've gone towards not the old forest, but there's a little patch of woodland before you get to a big gap, and then you get to the old forest. But they're heading towards Buckleberry Ferry. They're on this path. Now, this wasn't included in the last section because the file got corrupted. I have no way of emphasizing how much that annoyed me. Anyway, on with the game. Right, so our party have gone through. They were talking about, they've retrieved their arrow from the spider. It's a little spider. It's a little unsettling to have a thing like that tracking them, and why they had no idea. So in the lead, so they've got Bungo Barger is in front with Bill, of course, the pony. And then we've got Grungor next to him, and then Chetwin and Balvor. Now, if I'd managed to get the last file up and running okay, I wasn't able to retrieve it. I did actually pre-roll on a table from my Scarlet Heroes book here. We did a random encounter as well from, you know, here. And yeah, they had a random encounter. So again, so as they approach just past these rocks here, as you see, there's a figure up ahead amongst the trees. It says, "Oh, hi there, stranger. What news from the Shire?" See what I did there? It is Grungor says, "Let me do a talking, lad. State your business, stranger, and who you are." "My name is Fedwin. I am a hunter gatherer. I hunt. May I approach you?" He hands up. "May I approach you? I mean you no harm." Dwarves like, that's close enough. Right, state your business. And he says, I mean you no harm. I'm a hunter of monsters. I was tracking a spider. You might have come across him." "Aye, we did. put an arrow right through him. He's dead now. I'm just like, damn, you didn't get rid of the body, did you? It's like, nah, we just left it by an old rock pool back a ways. Oh, thankfully, heavens for small mercies. Oh, perhaps I can retrieve the body. You see, I'm a kind of a bounty hunter for these things. I get paid for tracking such monsters. Anyway, and he's taking steps forward. As he says, "It's all right. I won't come any closer. I will go around you. I bid you good day, fair travellers, and I wish you well on your journey." Now, are they astute enough to pick up on the slight smirk on there? Now, what would we use? Perception. So, well, let's have a look here. Get out my trusty core rulebook. It's going to be challenging. So it's going to be a 15. They need to score 15, and he's not going to be able to do it. Bungo Balga, no way. Neither is Grungor. Chetwin is a possibility, but he doesn't. And Balvor, no. Yeah, good luck, stranger. You're heading to the Shire, are you? Yeah, I will be afterwards. But don't worry, good sirs. I'm sure we'll cross paths again, perhaps. Anyway, good day to you. And he goes on. And that's just, right, let's move on, let's press on. So they start walking up into the trees. Bungo turns to Grungo and says, "Oh, you're not very trusting, are you? Hey, I thought dwarves were more trusting than that." "You have to earn trust in this world, lad." So now at this point, could we do a mystery focus table? Yes, we could. I think we'll do this. Right, so let's have a look here. What are we going to get? 29. New NPC. Right, so new NPC. My goodness. So a new NPC. Actually, that makes perfect sense in one way, because right, I'm going to consult my fate, not my fate chart. So we have a new NPC. 19. Right. Waste. 69. Waste wounds. Oh, okay. Right, okay. I know exactly what that means. That's going to mean they are going to meet a healer, which we will do soon enough. Right, so this is not what I was intending, but right, so they've gone in through the woods a ways. So as they're walking further ahead, they see a stranger up ahead, hobbling towards them. He's a human. He looks up, he sees them ahead, he says, "Oh, strangers, perhaps you can help me." The dwarves probably, I'll do the talking again. "State your business, stranger." "My name is Mandor. I am a healer. I am passing through. I'm on my way to Hobbiton to see if I can be of service. Perhaps earn some coins." Bungo's instantly interested. "Oh yeah, that's brilliant. Oh, we could always use a healer in Hobbiton. We have local healers, of course, and doctors, but you know, we always welcome outside knowledge and medicine." He gets a good feeling about this chap. Now they're going to make another perception check. This time, it's going to be a simple check, and I need to make a 5 in order to ascertain if he is carrying anything that could be health related, you know, or like healer related. Right, so Bungo's instantly, yes, I can see straight away You have lots of healing herbs and medicines and things about you. Say, why are you hobbling? Ah, well, alas, my injuries of this past week are going to take a while to heal, and I thought I could head to Hobbiton, perhaps find some peace while I rest up, and perhaps ply my trade. And the dwarves are like, that's interesting. Do you know anything about Fangorn? Fangorn Forest? I went near there once. I didn't get a very good feel for the place. Certainly the only type of healing around there would have been to myself, I'm sure. But there are some herbs there, according to my book. He consults his book. And he pats it. He keeps it closed. He just pats the cover. According to my book here, there's a lot of important herbs grow that way. But I'm looking to see if there are any new plants, and that I have several on me, but perhaps I can trade as well. I'm somewhat of a bit of a botanist as well, and I heard you hobbits were quite into your growing of things. Bugger's like, oh yes, we love growing things. I love plants. I love vegetables. Carrots, parsnips, potatoes. Oh yes, roasted potatoes. Oh, these good. Oh, speaking of which, isn't it time we had something to eat now? Now it's getting later in the day, and they think, okay, let's stop for a bite to eat. What do you lads think? And they all agree. Oh, yes, yes, yeah. Join us, please. Oh, and the stranger, we'll call him a cleric, for want of a better word. He says, yes, so, what did I say his name was? Mendor? Was he called Mendor? Mendor, because he mends things. If it wasn't, his name is now Mendor. Mendor, please join us. Oh, thank you. I have some berries and fruits I picked here. Let's go over to here. This bit of trees here. We can talk. Tell us about where you've been, the lands you've been. Right, now, can they glean any information from him about the way ahead, Buckleberry Ferry, that kind of thing? I think routine. As a test, I don't think they need any pressing. He will give, the cleric will be a plus, well, Mendor will be +2 for their role because he does have some information. So something like 10. Yeah. Anyway, first one is a pass. So he says, I've heard the way ahead is going to be, especially in the next few days, it's going to be raining. I have heard. So you might want to keep to the path and that sort of thing. If you've got anything that would spoil in wet weather, then keep it covered. You're heading to Buckleberry Ferry, I presume? Oh yes, we are heading to Buckleberry Ferry. We're actually going to and is it Grungor? Okay, keeps nudging him in the ribs with his elbow. Aye, we're just passing through a spot of hunting, Oh, okay. Well, anyway, they chat, they exchange pleasantries, and yeah, they get a little bit of a fire going. Nothing too drastic because of the trees and that. They don't want to be burning anything. Now, are they going to spend the night in this area of trees? Yes, I'm going to say. Actually, is there a question we can ask? Will Mendor spend the night with them? Will he? I'll say it's somewhat likely. Chaos rank is 4. I'll say it's somewhat likely. 50 exactly. Yes, he spends the night with them. Do they meet anyone else? No, I don't need to ask GM that. No, they do not meet anyone else that evening. And in the morning, the sun comes up. It's a lovely day. So they've had a great night's sleep. The birds are singing, and all seems well in the world. Bill seems in good spirits. He's, finding some stuff to chew on, some little bit of grass, tufts and whatnot. He's just wandering around. The dwarves seem in good spirits. They break out some cake and cheese that they had in their backpacks, thanks to Bungo, and they have a bit of a breakfast. Mendor shares some of his berries with them, and he even offers to make them some berry tea, which they accept, and he makes it, and it's really nice. And yes, so he says, thank you, kind sirs, for letting me spend the evening with you. I will make my way on to Hobbiton now. And by this time, they feel they've gotten to know him a bit better, and they wish him well. Well, you take care now, and perhaps we'll see you again someday. And you're like, yeah, okay. Consider me an ally. If you ever need healing and I'm around, come and see me. I'm going off to Hobbiton. This way, isn't it? Yes, it's that way. Just keep going, keep following. And if you find they call out, if you come across a strange looking hunter chappie, and he looks around at this, one of the dwarves, I won't say which one, stuck around him, says, don't trust him. And with that, the Mendor goes, I'll see you around. And he hobbles on off down the road. Well, wasn't he a pleasant chap? Aye, he wasn't bad at that. Let's head on to Buckleberry Ferry. And with that, they make their merry way out through these woods on towards Buckleberry Ferry. And that's where we are going to leave it. In our next scene, we will be at Buckleberry Ferry. And we'll see what happens to them then. Apologies for the disjointedness of the end of this video. I've literally had to redo it, and it's quite different from the end of my original footage. But not to worry, not to worry. This is all a learning curve, and we're going to get there. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. The Dwarves of Fangorn, and it will hopefully start hotting up a little bit in our next episode. Don't miss it. I'll see you then. Bye for now, folks. Bye bye.